Space. The final frontier. These are the continuing voyages to seek out new life and new civilizations. And to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hey, it's Janelle Waz, and welcome back to another episode of Waz Reviews. Happy Star Trek Day, everyone! Now, there's a lot of talk about a new show on the horizon titled Star Trek Starfleet Academy. But what if I told you that there was already a Star Trek Starfleet Academy? What if I told you that it followed a group of young cadets through the trials of going to school, developing friendships, getting into hijinks, thwarting a deadly Captain Kirk fan club, punching out their superior cadet officer, and all under the guidance of Captains Kirk, Sulu, and Chekov? And what if I told you it came out in 1997? September 1997 saw the premiere of Star Trek Deep Space Nine's 6th season, Season 4 of Star Trek Voyager, and Interplay releasing the flight simulator Star Trek Starfleet Academy, a computer game that featured delightful 90s full-motion video, or FMV, with a story told through the eyes of a cadet in Starfleet Academy's command school. It featured a live-action cast which included William Shatner, George Takei, and Walter Koenig returning to reprise their roles from the original Star Trek series. The game was a hybrid between interactive movie, where you develop bonds with your teammates with dialogue options, and traditional gameplay with missions taken by the cadets in the Academy's simulator, where choices made and actions taken determined whether or not you'd pass the mission and move on to the next, all the way to graduation and eventual posting on a starship. It's a nice blend of Star Trek's action and military drama and its interpersonal nature. I featured this game in my second Star Trek video game retrospective a few weeks ago, but now that I've actually played through the entire game just in time for the anniversary of the premiere of the original series, what better way to celebrate than where it all started for all of our favorite Star Trek captains, at the Academy. At ease, cadets, the Commandant can wait as we stop off for a cold one with the team in Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
You've just embarked on the most challenging course that the Academy has to offer, and also the most rewarding.
But before I go further, thanks for checking out my video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more of my Star Trek, video game, and other miscellaneous content. Keep those hailing frequencies open on the other social media sites, and a big thank you to my channel members for supporting the channel. If you'd like to buy me a cup of tea and support my work, consider joining up on my channel. Be great to have you aboard. This is Starfleet Academy, located in the 90s 3D hellscape of San Francisco. And I'm loving every minute of this obviously green-screened background. It's the first day of command school, with the headmaster, Commandant Rothrow, welcoming this new class of red shirts, new Starfleet captains of tomorrow, and telling them about the Academy's simulator. But what's not a simulation is the arrival of two of Starfleet's greatest, Captains Kirk and Sulu, who are aggressively trying not to look like they hate each other.
My close friend and our distinguished guest, Captain James T. Kirk.
I like to think they filmed their scenes separately and were lovingly green-screened into the cutscenes together. Captain Sulu is the new chief of the command school before he takes command of the Excelsior in Star Trek VI, and Captain Kirk is there to be an inspiration to all the young students.
Good luck, fair weather, and never forget that risk is your business.
I do have to say that William Shatner and George Takei, and later Walter Koenig, slip into their classic roles very nicely. They don't miss a beat, and they feel right in their roles from the movie era.
Life in space is made up of thousands of hours of boredom, offset by abject moments of terror.
But as much as we all love Kirk, Sulu, and Chekov, the focus of the game is on the cadets, as they learn what being a Starfleet officer means, both through simulations and how they interact with their fellow cadets. There's Jeffrey Corin, your navigator with a rich daddy and carefree attitude.
I bought my way in. Hey, don't look so surprised. There's a 2-for-1 sale on shuttlecraft today.
I thought the Federation didn't have money.
Don't tell me they don't use money in the 23rd century.
Well, we don't.
Helmsman Jana Acton, a trill from a rough colony with an even rougher attitude. Engineer Robin Brady, who doesn't get out very much.
I don't like socializing. I like transporter matrices.
Andorian Ambassador's daughter, Vanna McGee at the comm, and Sturek, the Vulcan science officer and computer whiz. Spock, he's basically Spock.
Explain the computer components.
And you are Cadet David Forrester. And how old is this guy? Dude's got crow's feet, frown lines, and enough forehead wrinkles to make a Klingon jealous. Either he was on a long wait list while they let some punk doctor's son in, or he's been held back for at least 10 years. He's the Academy's oldest cadet, folks!
Let's hope we're ready for it.
I've been waiting 25 years for this moment. Each simulation begins with a briefing from either Rothro, Sulu, Kirk, and later Commander Chekov, which gives you basic background and occasionally tips on how to proceed. Rothro will also help you during the first couple of missions, but after that, you're on your own to figure it out. After a brief captain's log in true Star Trek fashion, you find yourself on the bridge of the ship, navigating through the system, going to warp, opening hailing frequencies, going to red, yellow, or green alert, tractoring objects, performing scans, defending yourself, just about everything you can do from the bridge. Now all of this can be done from your keyboard, but to be honest, it was a challenge memorizing these controls, and I have to wonder if the commands are too detailed and broken down for this game. I'll get fired upon and none of my phasers are firing, not because they needed repairs, but because I have to consciously change from green to red alert, which is 2 separate button presses. I get the realism and I certainly got used to it, but it was still a little annoying. Heck, steering from the keyboard was so cumbersome that I opted to use my wireless controller as a joystick for piloting and fighting, and call out the other commands with the keyboard. Not sure if there's a better way to do this, but that's what worked for me. Both the objectives you complete and your actions determine your simulation score, and you're encouraged to find a diplomatic solution when possible. Mess up too much or straight up blow up your ship, and
your score is inadequate. You'll have to repeat the mission. Starfleet is an institution for adults, not children.
For a captain to lose his ship is a major blow, I know.
My God, Bones. What have I done?
but pass with flying colors, and
I have nothing but praise, but I've never been particularly good with praise.
nothing quite beats a compliment from Captain Kirk. The FMV cutscenes between your crew come in between the simulations, and yeah, it's pretty obvious these scenes are filmed on a green screen for that delightful 90s cheese. But to be honest, this is decent Star Trek content, and these are believable, likable characters. You get the sense that everyone on your team is qualified to be in Starfleet, and they do have that Starfleet formality, but they're still young and learning how to be officers. Sure, some of it can feel like Starfleet High with bullies and fights, but everything seems to fit into the Star Trek universe. I kinda wish there were more games with these people.
He wants to start a fight.
The captain of the Sentinel showed the Federation how a true Starfleet captain acts.
While some choices can make or break friendships, some, however, will result in an immediate game over. Like the time I got caught breaking into the science lab with my team to clear one of our teammates' good name.
I'm forced to dismiss you all from Starfleet Academy.
Oh, that's rich coming from the guy who helped steal the Enterprise to bring Spock back from the dead. Yeah, that was you on the bounty hanging around 1980s San Francisco. Looking for whales!
Admiral, there be whales here.
Well, I guess I can join the Maquis. Or hang out at Tom Paris's crappy bar in Marseille.
But the Marquis do not live in paradise.
Alright, let's fire up a new game. It's the first day of school, so it's a couple of tutorial sims to get a handle on the ship's basics, which involve destroying mines and tractoring the mine's controller. This is also the only time you get to choose your own ship, which is tied to the mission's difficulty. Well, I may have a poor handle on the ship's controls, but damn it, I'm going Constitution class, baby! Space. The final Kirk tier. We're off to find Spock's brain!
You have dealt with overwhelming odds in a manner consistent with the best traditions of Starfleet.
The next tutorial has you dealing with a historical probe field gone radioactive and a stolen freighter that pinched one and launched it towards a planet. Because reasons. Alright, Starfleet, what do I do with this?
Take the object to a safe distance from Onyx 2, then destroy it.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Follow those orders to the letter. Unfortunately, the orders were in error.
Oh, you're kidding me! 2 simulations into the game and they pull this crap? I mean, I could see later in the game as it gets more difficult, but I'm still pretty new at this. Oh sure, you followed orders, but Starfleet shouldn't have given you those orders in the first place, and you need to think more.
I hope that Starfleet will never give you another order as badly flawed as this one. But we want captains to have wisdom and maturity.
That sounds more like a Starfleet problem to me. Well, here I go disobeying orders.
Your ship, and maybe even the entire Federation, will have to live with the consequences of your decisions.
Congratulations.
Well, it's time for a guest speaker. A regular Klingon expert, if you will. Captain Kirk.
I have had enough of you!
You're definitely gonna run into the Klingons and Romulans throughout this game. Rescuing governors from rogue Klingons, tracking down cloaked Romulan ships, losing track of them when they cloak. And while you always have the option of using disabling phasers, more often than not, it's a fight for survival. Well, that made for some thirsty work, so let's crack open a cold one with the crew, and
I didn't apply to Starfleet because I thought I knew better than the best minds in the Federation.
Well, maybe you didn't, but I know I have something to offer to Starfleet.
Ooh!
So, Jana, how did you get here anyway? Stealing the local shuttle, or just hitching a ride on your garbage haul?
Now, I love me a good drunken Starfleet fight, and I can either let them duke it out, tell them to stop, or take one of their sides. But I know what I'm supposed to say.
Both of you stop!
Look, somebody's gotta be the adult here, and it might as well be the one who doesn't look like his picture on his license anymore. Seriously, everyone looks like they're the appropriate age, except for Forrester! He's the one they're sending into the liquor store to buy booze, isn't he? Jana's particularly prickly about Corin going out with fellow cadet Faith Gage when shy Robin Brady clearly has a crush on her. Now this is the kind of high school drama I expect out of Starfleet's finest.
Haven't you heard about her?
No, I've been too busy with my studies.
With the game clearly on your computer, David? At least minimize it when those you're commanding walk in.
Apparently, I'm expected to monitor the love life of my crew.
So Robin's got a thing for Faith, but his nose is stuck in a tech manual, and Corin asks Faith out when he should be studying for his Sims. Now I can go soft on Corin, but something tells me that's not what Cisco would do.
You cadets did some sloppy work. Some damn sloppy work.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to study nav protocols for 3 hours before our next mission.
Why does this feel like a typical fight at Starfleet Academy? What, are there swirlies in the bathroom if your nanites almost destroy the Enterprise?
I'm scared, Guinan.
And how is Forrester aging as this game goes on? Although having the option to call Corin a loser is pure high school. What a lame excuse. You're a loser, Corin. Nah, I helped him confront his fear of failing with everyone depending on him.
Corin's ratings have improved dramatically, but there's still an issue with Cadet Brady's performance.
But now there's Robin. He's a brilliant engineer, sure, probably not unlike Scotty, but he prefers reading tech manuals for fun rather than bonding with his teammates. Not to mention, it's affecting him with the ladies.
He's a nice kid, but I couldn't possibly be interested in someone whose whole life is dilithium matrices.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to get him out more. I want you to spend more time with the team. Outside the simulator. Do I have to?
Too real. No, you will go to the poker game and bond with your teammates. To be fair, that's probably the best way to get ahead in Starfleet.
That's not fair. This is easy for you. You fit in. Everybody likes you. Everybody really likes you.
Hey, don't talk to your elders that way. Hey, Chekov! Please, tell us how the simulator was invented in Russia or something.
Do you know what a Cossack is? Have any of you ever seen a traditional Russian Matrushka doll? was invented by a little old lady from Leningrad.
Now say nuclear vessels.
No.
Commander Chekov has some ideas for new simulations and enlists Forrester to help him. But unbeknownst to Forrester, but knownst to us, some of these missions seem awfully familiar. Oh sure, the Venturi might be new aliens who resorted to piracy as the result of their son dying, but crossing the Great Barrier to find a strangely calm alien with followers with unwavering devotion claiming he's the voice of God?
What does God need with a starship?
Really borrowing from one of the most panned Star Trek movies, aren't you, Chekov? And with no marshmallows or a secret brother of Sturrock's popping up? Or Scotty?
What are you standing around for? Do you not know a jailbreak when you see one?
Science experiment gone awry and now there's 2 Forresters running around?
Sorry, Davy, but I don't care about you or my own survival.
And the other one's a jerk? Oh yeah, we've never seen that before.
By the way, Amanda, if he hasn't told you that you're incredibly attractive, then I will.
What a little bird!
Why did you take things that were personal and use it against me?
Because, Mr. Forrester, we're trying to prepare you for what's out there.
Yeah, but nothing can really prepare you for your CMO dating her 100-year-old grandmother's ghost boyfriend, hopscotching to freedom, or being turned into a lizard and having lizard babies with your captain.
We can't prepare you for everything, but we can certainly try.
Wrath of O'Neill? More like Wrath of Khan without the cleavage! We want the Montalban chest!
Khan bloodsucker.
Fighting a Romulan ship? I mean, it can't possibly be Balance of Terror.
In another world, we might have been in a different reality. I could have called you friend.
Listen, as much as I'm poking fun at him, I'm enjoying these callbacks. I mean, I guess it's a step up from the original series. But why do the Gorn talk like Nausicaans?
We have no quarrel with the humans.
Play, Tomjot, human.
Well, it turns out that the Gorn have been hunting these creatures called mimics, so the mission is to save them by luring them away and find a system in Federation space so they'll be safe.
With the help of Communications Officer McGee, I was able to establish that the mimics are greatly attracted to the crisis rock music of the 21st century. We are broadcasting it now. I regret nothing with that joke. Meanwhile, news has reached Starfleet Academy that Bicea Colony has been mysteriously destroyed, and no one, including McGee's mother, survived.
As your captain, I could order you to take some time off.
You would be exceeding your authority.
So, could Sulu order her to take leave? The Klingons are implicated in the attack, which would violate the Organian peace treaty. You know, the episode where Kirk and Spock were dressed like Lord of the Rings cosplayers. And Kor was there. But there's also a new group on campus led by Cadet Milan, who believes the Federation is for humans and they need to do something about the Klingons. They call themselves the Vanguard. In reality, they're just a bunch of crazed Captain Kirk fans.
Get a life, will you, people? Klingons may appear brutal, but they also have a deeply rooted code of honor.
This kind of contradicts what Kirk was like in Star Trek VI.
I've never trusted Klingons, and I never will. I can never forgive them for the death of my boy.
Well, McGee is clearly bottling up her anger, so better go take care of that.
My people are a violent race.
Are you trying to start a fight?
Face it, McGee, you're screwing up and it's affecting all of us.
I am getting too old for this shit.
You know, I wish I'd have known hitting you would bring up our scores. It'd have saved me a lot of study time.
Oh, shut up, Corin! I don't see you taking one for the team.
But in the future, try to blow up a little bit now and again, you know, so I don't have to make a trip to sickbay.
Meanwhile, Sturrock's not willing to implicate the Klingons without proof, so he gets to work and... I knew serving Klingon spicy nachos was a bad idea!
Are you suggesting Sturrock blew up the lab, sir?
Well, we must consider that, Cadet.
With Sturrock under suspicion, his fellow teammates have his back and are determined to prove his innocence. Legally! But also...
There's a no-win scenario coming up.
Uh-oh. I know where this is going.
One cadet did beat it. James T. Kirk.
Yep. We're Kobayashi Maruing this thing.
Oh, you bet your sweet bippy I'm cheating.
Change the conditions of the test.
And I'm making the Klingons my BFF. We feast on gach and blood wine, my friend.
But don't get between me and the blood wine!
We remember you well, Honored Captain. We would be happy to help you.
Corin, shut up, shut up.
Interesting. You have passed the Kobayashi Maru.
I reprogrammed the simulator, sir.
But you don't just admit that. Ha! I love how both these choices are Kirk lines from Wrath of Khan.
I don't believe in the no-win scenario. I don't like to lose.
Because I don't believe in the no-win scenario, sir.
We have decided to take disciplinary action.
That's not what you did to Cadet.
That's not what you did to Cadet Kirk.
Rothrow and Sulu cut a deal with Forster to clear Sturrock's name and catch the true saboteur by letting everyone know that Forster's about to be expelled and might have an axe to grind. So basically that one Voyager episode where Tom Paris acted out and Chakotay wasn't in on it.
We needed a good performance. I'm afraid we used you to help Tom provide it.
Well, Forster.
Oh, shut up, Milan! Oh, look! Faith wants to break into the science lab to clear Robin's name, who she wasn't all that interested in before.
Now you know the lab's access code, and I know where to look for the evidence.
Now, I was a little torn on this choice and went back and forth for a while on which one I should select. On the one hand, I'm a goody-goody, and I don't want to risk expulsion from a guy who did something very similar a few years ago. But then I remembered something. Command's in on it. Yes, it is I, David Forster, Senior of the Year 10 years in a row, breaking into a lab with the Academy's hottie.
You were the bomber. Why,
Oh
Faith?
yeah, it's definitely her.
It's not gonna happen, Cadet.
Well, blah blah blah, she's in the Vanguard and she did it for the survival of the Federation, leading to a pretty good Sulu line delivery.
It is about survival, but not like this.
Well, with Sturrock cleared, the semi-phony charges against Forster that aged him another 5 years dropped, and Kirk returning with some evidence that the Klingons couldn't be involved in Bycia's destruction, Forster agrees to help Sturrock continue his research. He believes that a cybernetic life form he called the McClanty are behind the attacks, and if it can be proven, the Vanguard will be discredited. And all before graduation. Now at this point, I kept sinking hours into the science lab rather than training in the simulator, which could cost me my own command, but I figure, what the hell, peace in the galaxy is probably more important. It might even earn me some brownie points. Meanwhile,
I went to one of the Vanguard's meetings. You what?
Robin, I said you needed to socialize more, but not like that! Also, Magia was there and knows the Vanguard are using her because she's the daughter of an ambassador, but she's got the inside scoop on them. Namely, that some of them want David to join up because he's BFFs with Captain Kirk. Because if that's not street cred, I don't know what is. So it's infiltrating the deadliest Captain Kirk fan club to expose their secret illegal activities. But first I might meld with Sturrock to pass the telepath screening test. Good gravy, the mind meld is aging him another 5 years!
We've set bombs in the offices of key Federation officials.
Well, I call that proof of illegal activity. Call TJ Hooker right now!
Get a life, will you, people?
Until he stuns them all.
It's set on wide-angle stun.
Book 'em, Sulu.
Now, I don't know about you, but I could use a drink.
And it's graduation day, and finally, Cadet Forster graduates after being held back for far too many years.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Wait, he skipped 3 rankings?
I could skip the lower ranks entirely and begin my career as a commander.
And you have a field promotion to captain.
Excuse me? We've got poor Harry Kim languishing away as an ensign for 7 years, and I practically walk out of the academy as a captain?
I didn't notice the little box on my chair.
With command of the Enterprise?
And just have her back by midnight and don't scratch the paint.
Yeah, I just got a funny feeling, like I'm not gonna see her again.
Now, if you play the game well enough, this is the final mission, and it's no simulation. Naturally, Starfleet is giving a freshly graduated cadet control of the flagship of the Federation to test Sturrock's theory about communicating with the Merclanti by mimicking them, which turns into a rescue mission of a Klingon hospital researching cures for pediatric and elderly diseases. Now, I would like this mission. It's got a compelling story. I like Commander Vor in charge of the hospital, who risks being branded a coward in order to save the lives of children and the elderly, and it feels very Star Trek. Except it's a stupidly hard mission, and you have to play it exactly the correct way, or else you fail and the Klingons blow up the sun. Cross the neutral zone without permission? Fail. Destroy the Merclanti? Fail. Fail to mimic the Merclanti well enough to establish communication? Including not properly grazing the ship with photon torpedoes? Failed. Heck, I'm sure if you don't pick the right conversation choices, you could fail the mission there too, but playing this mission without a walkthrough went out the window a long time ago. I'm not against a properly hard final mission, and it's fitting that it's not a simulation. But this just feels picky, and I got tired of repeating the same steps over and over and over again. But if by some miracle you do all of that correctly, it's a job well done, and you get a toast from Captain Kirk himself, which is pretty rewarding, I'm not gonna lie.
Here's to the future of Starfleet, and the next generation of captains who will lead them there.
Here. And that was Star Trek Starfleet Academy, and it passes with flying colors. It strikes a good balance between the action and diplomacy of Star Trek with the character moments, something that's usually missing from flight sims. In fact, the character moments sell the game for me. You really get to know these characters as the game goes on. Sure, sometimes the acting can be hit or miss, but for the most part, these are believable characters who, while still young and inexperienced, worked hard to be in Starfleet. I know I said I'm not the biggest fan of Trek flight simulators, but this one really brings the human element into the genre. Heck, ignoring the obvious 90s 3D graphics and green screens, the production values are pretty solid, especially having William Shatner, George Takei, and Walter Koenig seamlessly reprising their roles. I know I said in my Star Trek video game retrospective that this game is difficult, but I want to amend that a little bit. Yes, there are a couple of really difficult missions, and even tutorials, but for the most part, once you get past the first couple of missions and get your bearings, most missions aren't too bad. If you've seen the shows, you get a sense of how you're supposed to respond to different situations. Take the diplomatic route if you can, don't antagonize more people than you have to, unless your crew really needs to punch you out or something. And cheating is okay as long as Captain Kirk's already done it. I suppose I could gripe about the complicated controls and some of the more ridiculously hard missions, but honestly, I really enjoyed my time with this game and want to see more of these characters. In fact, there was an expansion called Chekov's Lost Missions, but as far as I can tell, this isn't available on the GOG or Steam versions of the game, so you might be limited to tracking down a physical copy for these extra missions. But even just the base game is great, and whether you choose the Steam, GOG, or physical release, Starfleet Academy is accepting enrollment of the best and brightest.
Go on, Captain. Take her out.
So what about you? Have you played Star Trek Starfleet Academy? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do the new characters stand on their own, or are you in it for Kirk, Sulu, and Chekov? And what are some of your favorite Star Trek games? Please, leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to a special Star Trek Day episode of Waz Reviews. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends! Until next time...
I want you to study nav protocols for 3 hours before our next mission!